Yo! Welcome to a brand new movie review. This movie review is a part of the full moon event that is going on this channel right now. I have two other videos in that whole playlist. I actually made a playlist for it, so you can go to it and find it easily, just for your convenience. Today's movie is The Gingerdead Man. This is a part of, well, the full moon event, so this is a full moon features movie. It stars Gary Busey, and it is about a serial killer that possesses a gingerbread cookie. Yeah, it's a weird movie. Let's go ahead and get into the actual plot of the movie. It starts out with Gary Busey as a human killing a whole bunch of people in a diner, you know, normal Gary Busey types of stuff. And one of the people that two of the people that he kills is related to a young woman that he doesn't kill. It is her father, and one of them is her brother. I will be referring to her as the sister in this, because there's also a daughter that I don't remember the name of, that's the daughter of a rich, I don't know, food chain thing. He's basically like a Scooby-Doo villain, except not really. They should have made him a Scooby-Doo villain in this. It really would have made it a lot funnier. But basically, I'm going to skip forward a lot, actually. He lets her live, and then later they get a new batch of gingerbread seasoning that obviously isn't gingerbread seasoning because it's like completely white. I don't know what gingerbread seasoning looks like, but I'm pretty sure it's like a brown color. It should look like the gingerbread cookies, right? I don't really know, honestly, because I'm not a baker. But the actual bakers think that it looks fine, so they put it in there. After one of them bleeds into it, like, it's blood all over in it. That's nasty. Later they're talking about how the bakery might be closed down. I hope it is. That's horribly unsanitary and disgusting, to be honest. I personally, wouldn't eat baked goods with blood in it. I mean, it makes a good drink to, soak down the nastiness of a gingerbread cookie, but, I wouldn't eat it infused into the cookie. That's just disgusting. But, yeah. A little bit after that, a whole bunch of crap happens. The daughter of the oil tycoon, I'm just gonna call him an oil tycoon. They never say what branch of eatery he owns or anything like that. It's just an old lady out there shooting at the place because she thinks that they're trying to push them out of business, which they are, obviously. But in their defense, it would make really good grounds for a new parking lot for their place. So, I mean, you know, it's their fault, honestly. But yeah, they bake one gingerbread cookie on a huge tray for some reason. That's horribly inefficient for a business. That's so stupid. And yeah, Gary Busey comes back as a gingerbread cookie. As you can tell by the poster, it looks awful. Full Moon Features is honestly known for their puppets and stuff like that, so it doesn't look that bad, but in the face, it is god-awful. I don't know. It seems like they actually tried to make Gary Busey as a gingerbread cookie, and they shouldn't have done that. It's horrifying, and not in the way they meant it to be. But yeah, it is honestly horrible. This movie is extremely short. It's shorter than I remember, actually. This movie does not delve into the depths of being boring at all, which is actually really good. For these types of horror movies, there is a very, very thin line between too much character stuff and not enough. I personally would rather have not enough than too much, and this movie definitely has just the right amount, because all the character stuff that they do have is actually pretty funny. There's a scene where the daughter of the oil tycoon or whatever is talking to Amos, whatever his name is. I don't know what name that is. Amos, something like that. Not Sheamus from WWE. Amos, something weird like that. I feel like I just offended a whole bunch of people that are named Amos. It's fine. But she's talking to him and talking about how one time whenever she was a kid, she was using a Ouija board and it told her that there was a dude, it was the ghost talking about it, and it said that a dude cut her up and mailed her to her family and stuff, and the dude just automatically retorts that sentence right there is longer than any book you've ever read. And then right after that he says, talk about going postal, whenever about mailing it. That's funny. Those lines got me. Everything with Amos or whatever was actually pretty funny. There's a dork named Butcher Baker. He's like a wrestler, or trying to be. Yeah, I love wrestling, but that's the nerdiest thing I've ever seen. And every time it said Butcher Baker, it reminded me of the movie that I keep on seeing on Shudder, but never watched for some reason. It's like Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, or something like that. I still haven't watched that. I really need to, though. But yeah, this movie, honestly, really could have been boring if they would have made it, like, even just 10 more minutes long. But honestly, Gary Busey saves it with his weirdness. Amos saves it with his puns. And the other two characters, the two chicks and the Butcher Baker, almost ruin it. They're not quite that annoying, but they are extremely annoying. But Gary Busey is hilarious, as always. And actually, the horror, and this is not the horror, this isn't a scary movie by any means, but it has some pretty cool effects. Someone gets their finger chopped off, someone gets stabbed right in the face, someone gets ran over by a car, doesn't show it at all, it's just them slumped over the car hood. I think the finger getting cut off is the best looking one. Actually, the stab in the head looks like something I could do with like a fake knife and some fake blood, but yeah, yeah, that's basically all the kills. Actually, the last dude, the wrestling dude that actually saves them all, oh my god, that's so stupid. He was like, Gary Busey, I'm just gonna call him, whether he's in human form or gingerbread form, I'm gonna call him Gary Busey just to confuse people. Gary Busey was like, eat me, bitch! And because, you know, the Butcher Baker dude had him pinned, and the Butcher Baker dude just goes, I'm nobody's bitch, and eats him, and it's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then we were watching it, me and my fiance, I made them watch it with me, and they paused it, and were like, there's still 13 minutes left, and I was like, yeah, did you think that was the end? And they just played it silently. Yeah, I kind of felt bad about making them watch it, but it's fine. I personally think this is a really good movie. But yeah, then, you know, Butcher Baker, I cannot remember the dude's name, like the actual character's name, so I'm just gonna call him Butcher Baker, just gets possessed, yeah. My fiance was like, oh no, is it gonna rip out of his stomach now? It just possessed him. I looked at them and I was like, what? That would be way too goofy. It's a possession. I don't know. It's just, this is a fun movie, but if it was even like 5 more minutes long, it could have been like one of the most boring movies ever. But it wasn't boring, so it's fine. But yeah, Gary Busey is amazing in this movie. Amos has some of the funniest lines in any Full Moon Features movie, which is impressive because, well, if you haven't seen Full Moon Features, they actually have some pretty good lines and jokes and stuff, whether they're meant to be funny or not. All of the ones that were funny in this were actually meant to be funny, and some of the scenes that weren't meant to be funny were funny, but I feel like the people who made this knew that it would come off as a little bit goofy and extremely funny. But yeah, all in all, this is definitely a really good movie, and obviously it's one that I would rewatch because I've watched like 3 times so far. Since I was a kid. But yeah, this is a really good starting point for the Full Moon event reviews, because this movie is my number 10, and it's starting out with a respectable 6.5 out of 10, which isn't bad at all. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best movie, but it's not the worst movie. Hopefully the next movie, which is Evil Bong, will be even better than this one. I'll be watching it tomorrow and reviewing it either tomorrow or the next day. Like I said, these reviews from the top 10 video that I made will be either daily or every other day. But yeah, I hope you liked this review. Tell me what you think about this movie. I feel like there are a lot of people that are just gonna be like, this movie is garbage, why would you ever watch it? And you know what? I completely respect that, because yeah, this movie is pretty weird and extremely goofy, and yeah, if you don't like Full Moon Features as a whole, you definitely will not like this, because this is the epitome of everything Full Moon Features stands for. Yeah. Tell me what you think about this movie and Full Moon Features as a whole. If you want to see more stuff about horror or just anything like that in general, then definitely like and subscribe. Like and subscribe even if you don't want to, and if you do not like this video or this movie, go ahead and dislike it and comment and say that you hate me, because that will help this video too. And with this whole Full Moon event and everything going on, I do want more people to start watching, because, you know, I don't know, I want more people to have to sit through Full Moon Features movies. But yeah, See ya.